On a serious note, what is subnetting? Subnetting is the breaking down of large network into smaller and controllable network. So this smaller and controllable network is what we call subnet. Now remember, your landlord, when he bought the house where you live, he bought it as a land, as a full plot of land. When he starts building, he started splitting that land into different apartments. So whether room and parlor, a self-contained, different apartments, he put them together in that one full plot. You can see he split that one full plot into what? Into subsection, different apartments, and that is the apartment where you are right now. Now that apartment where you are, in cybersecurity we call it subnet. So subnet is the splitting of large network into smaller network, just like what your landlord did. Now subnetting is used for performance, to enhance performance. That's number one. To maintain security, to control access, and to limit attack. Now for you to understand subnet very well, let's say in your house you buy one router like this. You connect your phone, your daddy phone, your mommy phone, everybody in the house, they connected their phone to this one. Maybe one Chinedu is very good in hacking. He just comes to your house and he hack it. All of you will be affected at that period because you are all connected to just one. Now let's assume you now buy two of these. You buy two of these. You now say, okay, maybe your own phone and your sister phone will be connected to one. Then daddy phone and mommy phone will be connected to the second one. You know, if that Shinedu come and hack your own, you and your sister own, it will not affect your mommy and your daddy own, abi? So that is exactly how subnet look like in real world. So you yourself, you can subnet in your room or in your house. Another example is bank, in a banking system. In bank now, all customer network, they are routed to one particular subnet. So they can give them IP of 192.168.1.0/24. That is for customer network. Then you have another subnet that will be for maybe all ATM. So ATM network may have 192.168.2.0/24. That is for ATM. Then they will also have another subnet for core banking system, like for those computer and all those devices that are using in the bank for transaction and all those rectification that they are doing in the bank. So that one too, we have IP of 192.168.3.0/24. Then they will now have bank server subnet. So bank server subnet, we also have 192.168.4.0/24. Now, if attacker hack the customer network, it won't affect the server. It won't affect the core system that are working within the organization, and that is why subnet is very important. Assuming they connected all of them together to one network, the moment hacker hack maybe one of those customers, it can literally move to other part and start attacking, get to database, hack up the whole system, and overtake the whole organization. And that is one of the important of subnet. So in cloud, for those of us that understand cloud computing, in cloud we also have subnetting. The VPC is the big network. So inside this big network, we have subnets. So we have public subnets, we have private subnets, and we also have another private subnet. So in the first public subnet, we may put maybe our web server where people can access our website. While in those other two private subnet, we may put databases inside them because we have to put something that is confidential, something that people cannot easily have access to. So it is from our private that data will be fetched into the public subnet before the customer will have access to whatever resources we have in our organization. So that is an example in the cloud. What are the importance of subnet? Number one, it limits attack. If hackers hack into one subnet, they cannot literally move to other subnet and hack it. That's number one. Number two, it enables easier monitoring. It makes the cybersecurity expert to understand where they are to monitor. Instead of them monitoring the whole system, they will know, okay, this is where I am to monitor, this is where I am to secure. And that will help them to enforce the maximum layer of security to that particular subnet. Number three is that it maintains access control. It doesn't just jam-pack all users in one place. It separates them and organize the organization structure. Because if all devices or all users in the organization they are connected to one network, there will be confusion. So it organizes and maintains access. Then number four is that it helps organization to comply to standard, like ISO standards, PCI standard, NIST standard, all those standards. It helps organization to comply to standard because they know that for every subnet, there are some standardization of security that they need to implement. So they will be able to implement it effectively. Unlike when everything is together. So those are the important of subnetting. Now, you need to understand that subnetting is not enough in cybersecurity. We need to implement firewall. So we always add firewall to every subnetting. So firewall is usually placed at the front of a subnet so that firewall can control the computers or devices that can talk to each other. That's number one. Firewall will also control the port that should be open and the one that should be closed. Then firewall will also dictate the protocol that should be used for communication among those devices. So firewall basically control the accessibility to our subnet system. Because subnet alone cannot protect itself, but firewall is the one that is actually doing the rigid protection in our subnets. Now you need to understand that smaller subnets, fewer devices. Now let's do some little mathematics before we round up. Now let's say we want to split this particular IP into subnets. This particular big network, we want to split it into subnet. So we have 192.168.0/24. Now we want to split it into 4 subnets. We want to have 4 subnet networks, just this one. Now what we are going to do now is that we are going to divide the total subnets that a network can have is 256. So we are going to say 256, which is the total number of network that a particular device can have. So we are going to divide it by what? By the 4. So which is going to be 256 divided by what? Divided by 4. And that will give us what? That will give us 64. Now from this 64 now, so we are going to reserve 2 IP address from this 64 that we have. So because those 2 addresses stand for network address and broadcast address, and they are usually reserved in every network. So when we subtract these 2 from 64, we are going to have what? We are going to have 62. So it means that subnet is going to have 62 devices. So it means 62 devices can connect to one subnet. So 62 computers can connect to subnet 1. 62 computers can connect to subnet 2. 62 computers can connect to subnet 3. 62 computers can connect to what? Subnet 4. So you can see it now. So this is exactly how a big network is being split into 4 categories of subnets. So I hope you like it. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, follow for more, and see you in the next lecture. Thank you for your time.